YouTube, how's it going? Frogs Angels is back with Week 13 college football pick'ems. Been doing this every single week. And we got plenty of other NFL videos, prediction videos, Friday night live streams, so check those out. And follow our Twitter, Frogs_Angels. A lot of good stuff on there. Link in the description for that. Before we get into the picks, let's go to the Frogs Angels group that has a bunch of you guys in it. 8th place, Pigskin Pete's in 11th, but in the lead is Mark Richt, 473. Pretty good. I got a lot of catching up to do. Don't think it's gonna happen. Not a lot of college football left. But yeah, pretty good guys. Pretty good numbers up here at the top, guys. We're moving on. Michigan, Ohio State. How about we save that for last? Just because it's Michigan, Ohio State. Syracuse, Boston College. Could be. I think it'll be a close game. Both teams just had pretty bad losses. Syracuse got beat up by Notre Dame, and Boston College lost to Florida State, which is very surprising. Syracuse did lose their quarterback. Their backup, DeVito, he has a pretty solid arm. That's about it. You know, I mean, he has some talent there, but it's not the same as Dungy. Dungy brings more to the table with his running. So, for the injury reason, I'm going to pick Boston College, and they're at home, but coming off that Florida State loss is tough. But that one I'm not super confident about, but I'll pick Boston College at home and because the quarterback injury. Florida and Florida State. Is Florida State starting to pick it up? Maybe, but I still don't think they beat Florida. I'll take Florida. Marshall and FIU. Both solid teams this year. A lot of hard games to pick. These next few are very hard. You know, you don't really see these teams up here on this college pick'em every week, but they are, and they're tough to pick. I like FIU's team. Not that I don't like Marshall. I just like FIU, and I like them at home. Troy and Appalachian State. Both teams very impressive. Very hard one to pick. In Appalachian State, but I think Troy is slightly the better team. But it is in Appalachian State. This one might be my one confidence. UAB and Middle Tennessee, another very good game. UAB 9-2, very impressive. Just had to play A&M. Middle Tennessee 7-4. Maybe not the record, good record. Maybe not the record they wanted, but they had a tough schedule. Lost to Georgia. Played a good game against Kentucky. Lost there. They're home in this game. I think it's somewhat of an upset here, and Middle Tennessee wins. I think they have a very good football team, despite being 7-4. Tough schedule. Not that UAB didn't have to play tough teams. Another one that can go either way. Auburn, Alabama. I'm going Alabama. Auburn's a good team. Alabama is much better. Best team in the nation. They're going to win this game. But it's the Iron Bowl, so I guess anything can happen, but I'm sticking with the Bama boys. LSU and A&M. I like LSU. I'm not going to say A&M has no chance or anything, but I like LSU. Heck of a team there. Notre Dame and USC. Yeah, I'm taking Notre Dame. It's been a great season for them. They're getting better and better each week. A lot of NFL talent on that team. USC not having a good season. And Notre Dame and USC is a big rival game. You know, people think anybody can win. I mean, it's college football. Anybody can win. But this game shouldn't be close. Maybe it ends up being close just because it's a rival game. But, I mean, Notre Dame blew them out last year when USC had Darnold and all these guys, and they're a much better team. And Notre Dame's better this year. USC's the difference is USC can't score as many points as a USC team should be able to, and that's the difference in this game because Notre Dame will score on them. You know, it's a Notre Dame thing to do is to lose this game in this situation, but I would be beyond shocked because they're the much better team. Utah State and Boise State. I will take Utah State's ranked, but I'm taking Boise State. Home field advantage matters. Back up to Michigan, Ohio State. I can't wait for this one. These Big Ten games, you know, even though I don't think the Big Ten's all that great this year, these Big Ten games are very fun to watch. Very good matchups. You know, these guys got high motors. They play hard. They work hard. Fun to watch. Ohio State struggling this year, mainly on the defensive side. They really should have lost the Maryland game. They really should have lost that game. Maryland up 17 points at one time, then it was kind of back and forth from 14-7, and then they cut it down to 7 to tie. If you saw the game, you know what happened. But in then overtime, 2-point conversion, you know, probably should have got it. Maryland was fortunate with that fumble for a touchdown right before regulation, but Ohio State should have lost that game. But what does that have to do with this game? Absolutely nothing. Michigan did struggle a little bit against Indiana. Unfortunate injuries, Winovich. It just sucks. But Who's the better team? I think Michigan's the better team in terms of playing other contenders or playing other good teams. I think Michigan's the better team. But in Ohio State, and because chaos is bound to happen, I am picking Ohio State. There's also somewhat of a could be a matchup problem, because Ohio State, their problem is defense. They give up a lot of points. Michigan, not saying they can't score a lot of points, because Shea Patterson has, and the rest of the offense has gotten a lot better. But Michigan's not going to go score 50 points on you. They're not going to do it. They're going to have a good game offensively and defensively, but I don't know if it'll be enough. So I'm picking Ohio State. Again, I think Michigan is a better team. Like, they're number 4 right now. If both these teams had to play Alabama, Clemson, Notre Dame, I would pick the 3 teams I just named, no problem, over these 2 teams. But Michigan would have a much better chance against those teams than Ohio State, I think. Maybe Bama. Bama's kind of either way. Neither team would have a chance against Bama, but maybe Ohio State would be a little closer. But that's just my feeling. So I think Michigan can contend better, but I think Ohio State can win this game. We will see, though. This is a very tough week, so now I gotta. Man, let's put the score in here. I'm going to go, I think it's going to be that close, where it's 27-28. I think it'll be that close. They both could score in the 30s, seeing a little bit of, a Big Ten team starting to lose that defense a little bit, usually known for the defense. Maybe it could be in the low 30s here. We'll see. I'll stick with my initial gut feeling there. Let's order this here, though. We're going to go. These 2 are definitely going to stay down here, but I may have to move Troy and Appalachian here. UAB in Middle Tennessee is going to go here. We're going to put FIU. A lot of weird games here. Notre Dame has to go to 10. And there's some people that really think it's too much pressure. It's going to get to Notre Dame. So it's a little scary. But they are so much better than this USC team. They're going to go out there and win. A lot of people are voting for Notre Dame here too. Not why I'm putting them up there, but it also feels good. Auburn, Alabama, we got to put that at 9. We're going to move this down to 6. Florida State will move ahead of, that's what we're going to go with. It's really tough because this feels like a one-confidence game. This does. Syracuse, Boston College does as well. This one, too. And we got Utah State's a pretty good team, and I have Boise State winning. So on most weeks, these can be considered one confidence all through here. The other ones I'm pretty confident about. So we're going to submit that. I always take a look at other games here just to give my thoughts. Still got to see the college football playoff rankings, too. This is last week, week 13. Any games they left out. Mississippi State, Ole Miss. That's going to be a really good game. That's going to be a really good Egg Bowl. Man. Mississippi State's minus 11. I think it could be closer than that. This is going to be a heck of a game. This is where Fitzgerald got hurt last year, so maybe a little bit of a revenge game for him. But Mississippi State really struggles to score. Mississippi State has maybe the best defense in the nation, but Ole Miss can score. They have the best wide receiver unit in the nation. So I think Mississippi State wins, but I think it's very close. Texas, Kansas. Texas needs this win, and they will get it. Cincinnati, East Carolina, Cincinnati. Central Florida over South Florida. Oklahoma, West. Wait a minute. That wasn't on the. Yeah, I don't know how I didn't realize that. That wasn't. Oh, I see why. That game's on Friday. Oh, I can't wait for Friday night. It's gonna be a heck of a game. And Washington State plays. That should have been on there too. Oh man, they should have just put that game on there anyways. Oklahoma, West Virginia. I think West Virginia gets it done. I think people are expecting Oklahoma after West Virginia just had that loss, and I'm going to pick West Virginia. Wouldn't put money on it, though. I'll tell you that. A lot of offense. West Virginia's defense was disappointing. I knew it wasn't good, but I thought it was better than how it performed against Oklahoma State. So we'll see. It's going to be back and forth, Greer versus Murray. It's going to be a heck of a Friday night there. Washington State. I'll pick Washington State. Washington State should be I'm saying it. They should be strongly considered for that number 4 spot. We're going to look at the rankings next. I really like this Washington State team. I think they'll win this game. We picked that game. Georgia will beat Georgia Tech. Watch out for Maryland. They can score. I'll take Penn State in this one, probably closer than 14. Northwestern will beat Illinois. Clemson will beat South Carolina. Iowa State over Kansas State, but maybe closer than you think. Kentucky, Louisville. Yeah, Kentucky. Louisville's terrible this year. BYU, Utah. Utah's been very impressive with their injuries still. That's a well-coached team, pretty darn good team, a lot of depth. Very impressed with that team. And there's the... Oh, let's check out these power rankings. Is there a power ranking somewhere? It's Twitter. We're not dealing with Twitter. Rankings. Check out our Twitter though, Frogs_Angels. I had to throw that in there. Here's power. Let's look at the AP poll, the update. We don't have the college football playoff poll. But yeah, I think Washington State should be considered for that 4 spot. Oklahoma's a good team, but the defense does not deserve to be in the playoff. The defense and who they played in the Big 12 being weak, there's zero defense. I think Washington State should be ahead of Oklahoma. I think, honestly, I'm not gonna sit here and say Michigan doesn't deserve to be 4. They've been playing really good football, and they're definitely deserving. I think head-to-head, if Georgia would play Michigan, I would pick Georgia. I guess that's not what it's all about, though, when it comes to rankings. And I would pick Washington State. I would pick Washington State over Michigan. I may even pick Washington. I think Washington State can hang with Georgia, too. Honestly, I think Georgia would win that game between the two, but I think it would be a heck of a game. I would love to see that game. I think Swift would run all over the place, but Washington State does have a very good defense. But I think Gardner Minshew would have a pretty solid day throwing on what Georgia's not used to. We're talking about a matchup that probably won't happen, so I'm going to stop with that. UCF is undefeated. They struggled in some games. I don't know. I think this is where they probably should be. Again, Oklahoma, with the loss they have, I wouldn't complain if Central Florida was ahead of Oklahoma. Ohio State, that's where they belong. Worst 10-1 team besides Utah State. That makes sense to me. They've struggled. But what does a win for Ohio State do over Michigan? What does it do? Does it put them all the way up? And a win against Northwestern? Will a win against Northwestern? Because if Michigan beats Ohio State and they beat Northwestern, they're in, it looks like. I don't think they could switch anything there. I think they're pretty much stuck at 4 as long as the other teams win. Clemson does have to play Pittsburgh, which sounds funny, but Pittsburgh could play, let me tell you. So that's a little scary one. But Michigan wins out. They're going to be 4 unless something crazy happens. Top 3, they'll be top 3. But if Ohio State beats Michigan and beats Northwestern, where do they go? I still don't think it's enough to put them in. They have not been impressive this year. Big Ten has a lot of free wins, weak teams. I don't know how you can have them jump a Washington State or a Georgia. That's just my take. But it kind of depends how they win, too. How big do they win? Texas at 11-8-3. West Virginia, 2. Yeah, I can't really disagree with some of these. Probably put Utah up a little bit higher. Boise's been playing pretty good ball. Army 9-2, number 23. They're probably not going to be in here for the college football playoff. That's just how it goes. Yeah, there's Pittsburgh. They're making an appearance. That's a very good team. Let's take a look at Pittsburgh actually, because I'm thinking they could beat Clemson. Clemson's a very good team. Yeah, see they have losses to Penn State early. That's not a good loss. Central Florida. But somewhere right here, they figured it out. I'm telling you, somewhere right here. And that loss to Central Florida whipped them into shape or something. And they beat a very good Syracuse team. Then they had Notre Dame. They put up a fight with one of the better teams in the country. Put up 54 on Duke. Virginia was ranked at the time. They beat them by 10 points at Virginia. Virginia Tech was a good team earlier in the season. Played some tough teams. Lost. They're still a decent team. They beat them by 30 points, putting up 52. Wake Forest. This team's scary. Let's see how they do against Miami. I mean, Clemson, Pittsburgh, head-to-head. I'm probably picking Clemson, but it's very scary. I think Pittsburgh can win that game. So a lot of big things to look out for here. Can Northwestern mess everything up in the Big Ten championship? They had Michigan when they played them. Do they beat them in a second chance? I would pick Michigan as of now, but you never know. They could beat Ohio State as well. Going to be very interesting. Very, very interesting. So that's my video. Hope you enjoyed that. And my voice cracked just a second ago. That was good stuff, but that's going to do it. Subscriber goal is 10K subscribers. Please click that button if you haven't already. Trying to reach that goal. And clicking the like button, we much appreciate it as well. That's going to do it, though. Stay tuned for other NFL videos, plenty prediction videos, Friday night live streams. Follow our Twitter, frogs_angels. Going to start doing NFL predictions on there. Trying to get the following up at the end of each week. So maybe Tuesday morning we will do AFC Championship prediction, NFC Championship, Super Bowl prediction. Updated every week. I think that'd be a lot of fun. People like predictions. So we'll do that there. We'll keep uploading the normal schedule and more on this channel. Thanks for everyone's support. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.